Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys a new Bleach chapter 526 prediction. Now, this week's chapter of Bleach for me wasn't what I was really expecting. I'm not gonna say I didn't like it. I mean, I did like the chapter, but I expected more from this flashback between Unohana and Kenpachi because, of course, that was basically the main focus of this week's chapter. Now, before I get into my reasons for that, I'm going to go ahead and give a quick synopsis of the chapter, then give my reasons for why I felt the way I did, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my prediction. Now, of course, the chapter starts off with, basically leaving off what we saw in 524, where we saw Unohana and Kenpachi basically going toe-to-toe. Kenpachi complained about how he keeps passing out, which, of course, later on in the chapter, we end up finding out, what's actually really going on. But he keeps complaining about passing out. We end up later on going to the flashback and seeing Unohana pretty much walking around the Ronkongai district in Soul Society with one of her subordinates. So this was a really long time ago. I mean, this is before probably... In fact, I know it's before like the visors actually left and all that, because it's before Unohana actually received the scar. And she sees this pile of like dead bodies, and we find out that Unohana is pretty much walking around Soul Society for the pure reason that she's trying to look for a good fight. There's really no other reason why she's walking around the Ronkongai district. And we see a person standing up at the top, a child actually, and that happens to be Kenpachi. Now, Kenpachi, of course, we all know he clashes with Unohana. They have a good old fight, and they both reach this level of euphoria, says Unohana. And, Kenpachi actually ends up owning her as a child, which actually really surprised me, which, I don't know, I really kind of didn't like, because she pretty much says that, she wasn't even a match for Kenpachi at that point in time, which actually, in a sense, confirms, what he ended up saying, or what she said in the previous chapter about how he's gotten weaker and how, she couldn't use the same tricks on him before. Now, later on, of course, we find out that after, pretty much why Kenpachi's gotten weaker is because he's been suppressing his own power subconsciously, according to Unohana, because, when he reached that level of euphoria, finally facing off with somebody on close to equal footing with him, he pretty much, didn't want to lose that. He didn't want to lose, an opponent that could actually clash with him. So subconsciously, he made himself weaker. He shackled his own power down, supports his own spiritual pressure, and that's why he wasn't as strong. So she's pretty much been killing him over and over again, which is why I keep saying he's passing out. She's been killing him over and over again in order to unlock that power, because pretty much anytime Kenpachi's ever had a fight against anybody and he's reached a near-death experience of some sort, he's always his power is always shot up. He's always gotten stronger from that, because he's been slowly unshackling the power within him that he once had. So, of course, that it makes sense why she's been, doing what she's been doing. And I guess she can revive people too, which is a little weird, because if she does have the ability to revive people, then it's like, what's been happening with Byakuya? Like, Byakuya really had no reason why he needed to go to that hot spring. But I don't know if maybe, if she kills somebody, then she can revive them, or she can do whatever she wants with their soul or something like that. But it's just a little weird to me as far as that's concerned. And, of course, she pretty much says that, the Kenpachi ended up, since he suppressed his power, and she's pretty much the reason for that, she's calling that her sin. And at the end of the chapter, of course, she says she'll kill him 1,000 times if she has to, until he finds himself again. And then, at the end, that's when we see Kenpachi finally, it seems as if he regained his power, and he goes for, he pretty much deflects the slash from her and pretty much goes for one slash. And, that's the end of the chapter. Now, the chapter, when it comes down to seeing Unohana, talk about, of course, Kenpachi, how much stronger he used to be, I don't know, I felt a little bit misleading, because when I look at the previous chapters, Kenpachi made it seem like Unohana had tore him up, tore him to shreds, that he was no competition for her. Now, granted, we all knew that he had to be capable of doing more than, obviously, the way he made it seem, because he was able to scar her. So, I mean, obviously, he had to be able to he had to actually have some effect on her, but I didn't like that, because, I mean, the fact that he used to be stronger than what he is now, it kind of doesn't add up. I'm like, so you mean to tell me a child Kenpachi is stronger than an adult, Captain Kenpachi that's went through kendo lessons and fought against these Espada? Like, it's just a little weird. I mean, I don't really like that too much. I mean, I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever. And not only that, but the backstory, I mean, I would have liked to see, I don't know, I think it could have been, a little bit more detailed, you know what I mean? Like, maybe winning a little bit more about Unohana, maybe even showing a little bit more about Kenpachi's past, up until that point. Maybe showing a few opponents that he faced off against. I mean, of course, there's still probably much more that can be told about this. But I'm really hoping that Unohana isn't just going to lose this easily. I mean, I almost feel as though, like, if she's just trying to unshackle his power, then what is she really there to teach him? I mean, they could pretty much have anybody walk up in there and, kill, or maybe not kill him, but, I mean, shoot, I mean, anybody, well, you know what, Orihime, shoot, get Ichigo and Orihime to do the job. I mean, Orihime can pretty much revive people, might as well get another Shinigami. Another Shinigami can pretty much cut him up and revive him. I don't know, like, I really don't feel as though, like, Unohana really serves much of a unique purpose in this particular scenario. I just don't like it. I mean, I'm like, I hope you guys can respect that. I mean, I just feel as though, like, I mean, it's okay, but I just wish that it was a little. I guess you could say I wish it was a little bit more well thought out or something, like, as far as I wish Unohana. I'm trying to see how I want to word this. I wish Unohana actually would have went ahead and, like, explained this from the get-go, rather than made it seem as if Kenpachi was already at the peak of his power and that he was going to learn something more. Because at this point now, it seems like he's not going to learn anything extra. She's just going to be basically help him unlock, his hidden potential. And I wanted him to actually get some type of swordsmanship skills or something. So, I mean, I don't know if maybe there's still a chance for that, but right now it's not looking like that. And hopefully she's not about to sit up here and lose in this one slash, because I'm like, you didn't use a Shikai, you didn't use a Bankai, and I kind of want Kenpachi to learn how to use, or at least learn the name of his Zanpakuto, and I thought this was a good opportunity for him to actually learn it. So I'm hoping that Kubo actually takes time to expand on that aspect of Kenpachi, maybe actually have to learn the name of his Zanpakuto. Rather than, oh, his spiritual pressure is just going to keep shooting up until he beats her. Like, I don't know. I didn't really like that, but I mean, overall, I mean, next week I'm still looking forward to it. I mean, I love this arc, and you all know I love Bleach. It's one of my favorite series. So next week, what I want to see is maybe Unohana use her, like, a different aspect to her Shikai, because we all know her Shikai can heal, but I want to see maybe it have some kind of different version to it, maybe, or even maybe use Bankai, give Kenpachi, a harder time, and maybe she'll have to, maybe he's still not at the peak of his power, which I'll be happy about. I don't think we're going to see Ichigo for a little bit. I think we're going to keep going on and on with this fight and probably till it finishes up. So that's pretty much what I thought about this week's chapter, guys. But let me know what you think about it. Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was good? Do you feel as though that there could have been a little bit more that actually went on, maybe within the backstory? Or maybe did you feel a little bit misled about what happened, with the whole, like, making it seem as if Kenpachi had, actually gotten his butt whooped by her, but then come to find out, he actually was stronger than her this whole time. He just, his power's just been lying dormant. So it kind of makes it feel as though you're downgrading. Like, it kind of makes you feel like Kenpachi really has not gotten any stronger since he's been a child. To me, it's just a little weird. But if you feel the same way, let me know. If you don't, then that's fine too. And tell me any theories you guys have about what you think is going to be coming up in the next couple of chapters of Bleach. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.